So when you're ready, you can make your way down onto your back. If you want to today, you can bring your feet wide and your knees kind of drop in. So again, if that doesn't feel nice for your hips, it sometimes just loosens off the hips a little bit. So it's just feet kind of as wide as your mat. And then you just allow your knees to drop in a bit. If it's not a suitable position for you or get fed up with it, you can always adjust it and just stretch your legs out. So just taking a few moments, just at the start of class, just going away from your morning, and then just beginning to draw your attention inwards. Starting to be aware of your breath, just as it moves in and out through your nose, first of all. And then as your breath starts to smooth out, just beginning to notice your body, just how it feels here. So maybe noticing any areas of tension or tightness. Try and allow that to just release a little bit. The theme of today's class is prana. Prana is the energy or the life force that is within everything. Every living being has this life force. And when we go through our yoga class, we actually generate more prana. So it's just being aware of that generation of energy, and also today trying to direct it as we move through our practice. And prana itself can be broken into 5 different areas of our body, but these are called Vayus, or winds, literally winds. So we're going to start with the Prana Vayu, which is to do with the head, so our nose, our throat, so as we breathe in, and also to do with kind of the chest and your lungs. So it's all the kind of respiratory elements of our prana. So we're going to start with just a little breathing practice here. So when you're ready, we're just going to start with our samavriti, our even breath. So just taking a deep inhale, and we count the breath here. So maybe counting for say 4, and then exhaling for a count of 4. If that feels comfortable, then you're going to try and increase both the inhale and the exhale. So we're going to keep it even. So maybe on your next inhale, you can maybe try and increase that count to 6. Taking a longer, deeper breath and exhaling slowly as well. If that feels okay, maybe increase that count to 7. And as soon as it becomes uncomfortable, you would reduce the count a little bit. And then if it feels okay, maybe try a count of 8. So that longer, deeper breath can help us to relieve any kind of feelings of anxiety or tension or stress. Even be proven to lower our blood pressure if we breathe, and also the awareness of our breath is important as well. And when we're counting it, then we're more aware of that breath. It can also help you fall asleep at night. So if you're struggling to fall asleep, then that breath is the kind of really useful tool to have. So our breath can help us with the generation of prana, but we're also going to move a little bit. So you can, when you're ready, you can start to take your knees apart, bring your feet closer together, and then we're going to draw the knees in towards the chest. So we're going to start to build prana or energy within our bodies. So we're going to come in for apanasana. So with your knees in, take your hands onto either your knees or your shins. And on an inhale here, we're going to curl the tailbone up off the ground, draw your knees in towards your chest. And on the exhale, we'll just slowly release the tailbone down. And we'll do that again. This time, maybe lift the upper body as well. So as you inhale, pull the knees in, but draw the upper body up. And then on the exhale, lower. Now you can do this as slow as you want, but you could use that slow breath. So maybe that inhale for 8. It might be too much, so you can see, but you could try it. And then slowly exhale for the count of 8. But just see how it feels. If it's interrupting the apanasana, then don't worry about it. But just try and keep a long inhale and exhale. Okay, we'll do one more of these, so just take your time. And then when you're ready, lower your upper body and then just move your knees away a little bit. So we're going to bring your knees over your hips. We're going to come in for some yogic bicycles now. So we're going to tilt your fingers, take them behind the back of your head. As you inhale, if you can, lift your upper body up off the ground. So we're going to move over towards your right knee. As you do that, you're going to extend the left leg away. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, come back into the center. So again, we'll try and do it really slowly. So trying to twist over, maybe taking that elbow over towards the knee as you do that. And then slowly back in towards the center. So twisting themselves are really energizing. So they help us to create that energy in the body a little bit more. So really good for your digestion as well. And I apologize if you've just done your breakfast, but keep going if you can. And that inhale, just twisting over. Exhale to the center. We'll do that once more, so make sure you do it on either side. So if you need to, you can always even it up a little bit. And then just when you're ready, we'll come back in towards the middle. You can draw your knees in towards your chest again. And then from here, we're going to take your feet flat onto the ground. So you might want to spread your arms here. We'll bring your feet and your knees together. And as you inhale, we'll just drop the knees just over towards one side. As you exhale, we'll pull them back in towards the center. So try and keep your shoulders down on the ground here as you move side to side. Maybe try and squeeze your knees and your feet together so they're not kind of slipping about the place, but they're staying in place as you move side to side. Now you can stay with that. If you want a little more, you can pick your feet up off the ground and then start to move side to side again. See how it feels. Gently press the shoulders down. Think about that long breath. Try and move slowly. So often when we do things, we tend to do them pretty quickly. We might miss something, so maybe today try and slow it down a little bit. And use your breath to help you to do that. Now keep going with that. If you want a little more, you could extend your legs all the way up. Again, you just work where you can. You want to keep your feet flat on the ground, then do that. Okay, we'll just do one more on either side here. So take your time. And then just when you're ready, come back in towards the center. When you come in, we'll rebend the knees. Draw the knees towards your chest. And then we'll take the hands behind the back of your thighs. We are going to roll back and forwards here. If you'd rather roll over onto your side to come up, then do that. Otherwise, just a little massage through your spine, forward and back a few times. And when you're ready, start to come up. So as we come up, we're going to come into a sitting position. So we're going to sit into Sukhasana. So we're going to do one more breathing practice here. So our Ujjayi breath is really useful to try to really encourage our prana. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. We're going to create a little mudra. So this mudra is called Prana Mudra, and the mudra helps us to create more prana, so more energy. So we'll have the palms facing up. So we're going to join your pinky finger and your ring finger with your thumb. Okay, so the little baby finger and the one next to it, we're going to try and join that to your thumb. And then your other two fingers just stretch away, and the palms face up and the shoulders drop down. And you can either close your eyes again, or you could lower your gaze, really up to you. And just start with that Samavriti again. So that inhale evenly in and out through your nose. If you have a Ujjayi breath, you can fall into that. If you want to try it, then on the inhale, we're just trying to create a little kind of texture at the back of your throat. And the inhale is sometimes called inspiration. So you can imagine that you've got that kind of feeling of inspiration or even shock or awe at something. And it's that kind of whole sharp intake of breath, but we lengthen it, but we still get that sound at the back of your throat. On the inhale. And on the exhale, if you want to, you could slightly open your mouth and imagine you're fogging up a mirror. On the exhale, it's that kind of ha sound that you want. And obviously, we want it with the mouth closed. So once you've done it a couple of times with the mouth open, you could then close your lips again and try and do it with the mouth closed. So breathing in and out through your nose. Now, Ujjayi breath can be used throughout the whole practice. Sometimes people use it just for kind of the more energetic parts of it, but it's, you know, you can use it throughout the whole class if you want to. And it gives us a sense of being present because we're always aware of that breath. It's quite kind of rhythmic and calming, so there's the sound aspect of it. And even the little vibration that you get in your chest can be quite comforting as well. So you can either stay with your Ujjayi breath or coming back into, I'll inhale in and out through your nose. And we'll start to open the eyes. And we'll start to release your hands. And you might want to move your fingers a little bit. Sometimes they get a little bit kind of tight or crampy feeling when you hold them for too long. So from there, we'll come into all fours position now. So just take your time, just moving around. And we'll come onto your hands and onto your knees. So the hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we're just going to take a few cat-cows here. So on the inhale, start to drop the belly down, pull forward through your chest. And then on that exhale, rounding through your back, draw your chin to your chest. And maybe use that Ujjayi breath as you move through this cat-cow, but just see how it feels. It has to feel kind of comfortable and authentic. So if you kind of feel like you're forcing it, then don't bother. And then when you're next inhale, we're going to come back into the center. So we're just going to draw our belly in and come into the middle. As you do that, we're going to reach your right leg out to the side. So we're just going to step it out to the side. And as you do that, try and keep your foot and your hip in line. And then if you want to, you can either stay on the outer edge of your foot, or the inside edge, I should say, or start to press the little toe down so you kind of flatten out through your foot a little bit. I'm going to move through this. So as you inhale, we're just going to gently move back a little bit. So just taking your hips back a little. And then on the exhale, we'll move forwards a little bit. So maybe moving over your wrists a little. So do that again. So inhale, start to move back. And if you want to, you can move your hips all the way back towards that left heel. And on the exhale, move forwards and maybe take yourself a little bit further over your wrist. But just see how it feels. Keep pressing down through your right foot. Okay, we'll do that once more. So take your time, finish it off. And then make your way back in towards the middle. Now from here, draw your belly in. And if you can manage, we're going to lift that right foot up off the ground. So see how that goes. So squeeze and lift it up. Just hover it there, flex your foot, draw your belly in. Take one more inhale. And then slowly take that leg round towards the back. So as you take it towards the back, you're going to bring your foot back down onto the ground again. So the side of your foot is on the ground once more. So we're coming in for a little variation on our half moon. So you could keep both hands on the ground here and just rotate a little bit in your right hip. If you want a little bit more, start to reach your right arm up. So we reach up through the right arm. Again, just see how it feels. You can always kickstand your left foot out to the back a little bit if you needed to. And if you want to, you don't have to, but you could lift your right foot up off the ground again. So flexing through that foot, lifting it up, drawing your belly in, aligning your shoulders. Breathe. Well done. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly release your hands, and then just bend your knee in, come back into all fours. As you do that, we'll just circle around just in one direction. So just take your time, moving around. Again, just see how far you want to go with that circle and the speed of it. Okay, when you're ready, come back into the middle. So again, draw your belly in and we'll start to stretch your left foot out to the side. So again, the left inside of your foot is down, or maybe you press your little toe down towards the ground. So when you're ready, on your inhale, start to glide back a little bit. And on the exhale, start to move forwards. So again, you're in charge, so move further back if you want. So the hips moving back towards your heels and over your wrists. Keep pressing down through the left foot, so not to allow it to be too light here. When you're ready, make your way back in towards the center. So draw your belly in. And then again, if you can, start to lift up through your left foot. Okay, when you're ready, move that left foot all the way around towards the back again. So we're coming back into that half moon position. So your foot's going to rest onto the ground, first of all. Your hands can stay down. If you want to, you can start to lift up through your left arm. Again, just see how that feels, opening up through the chest. Good. And then if you want a little bit more, maybe lift up through your left leg. Only if it feels right. Remember, you've always got that right foot to move out to the side a little bit more if you need to. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Slowly release your hand down and then lower that knee back down to the ground. And then if you can remember which direction you went in, you could circle the other way. It doesn't really matter if you're still going the same way, but just circling around. Okay, when you're ready, come back in towards the center. Now from here, we're going to start to move into our first downward facing dog. So we're going to spread your fingers, tuck your toes, start to lift your hips up and back. And as you come into, maybe start to make a little bit of movement, but see how it feels. And spread your hands a little bit. And in the prana practice, we try and use the ground. So we're trying to kind of use the ground to rise up out of. So we want to feel the energy moving up through your hands, all the way up through your arms, to your shoulders, to your hips, and then all the way back down through your legs. Okay, we're going to take one more inhale here. We're going to walk your hands now back towards your feet. So just take your time, just walking it back. And when you get there, just fold forwards towards your legs, so with the knees bent. On your next inhale, we'll lengthen your spine. So start to maybe move your hands up the legs to stretch the spine out. On the exhale, just fold back and towards your legs. As you inhale here, we'll reach up and rise all the way up towards the top. And on the exhale, we're going to fold all the way back down again. So just taking your time, moving down. As you inhale here, lengthen your spine. And then on the exhale, we'll walk all the way out to a plank position. Take your time walking your hands out. When you get there, we'll lower the knees to the ground. And then bend your elbows, lower all the way down towards your mat. As you inhale here, draw your shoulders back, lift your chest. And on the exhale, bend into your knees again, push back. And if you'd like, tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. So you can always modify this and come into a child's pose if you'd prefer. So just work with what feels right. We're just trying to build that idea of prana through our body. And movement and breath helps us with that. Okay, we'll take one more inhale here. We'll start to walk back. So walk your hands back towards your feet once more. And when you're ready, fold towards your legs. As you inhale, lengthen your spine, move up. And on the exhale, fold back in. As you inhale, reach up, so rising all the way up to the top. And on the exhale, fold all the way back down towards your legs. Lengthen your spine on the inhale. And on the exhale, we'll start to walk the hands back out to that plank position again. When you get there, lower your knees, bend your elbows, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, bend into your knees, push your hips back, tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Again, modification wherever you need it. We'll try and use the ground. So this is kind of a rest position, this down dog, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it, sometimes it does. So just need to listen and see how it feels today. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Again, fold towards your legs. As you inhale, lengthen forwards through your spine. Exhale, fold into your legs. Inhale to reach up. And on the exhale, we'll fold down one last time. Lengthen forwards on the inhale. Start to walk back out on the exhale. Again, lower your knees, or maybe this time you don't. Maybe you just bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, make your way back, downward dog. And sometimes we create too much prana, so too much energy. So if you need to release some heat, maybe take a deep inhale through your nose, and then this time just sigh it out your mouth. Okay, when you're ready, walk your hands back towards your feet, so take your time. Fold in again. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, we'll just draw the palms together, just in front of your heart. So maybe closing your eyes for a moment, just see how everything feels. Well done. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So we're going to do a little bit through some balance postures now, both moving and standing still. So if you want to, you could use a wall. So if you're close to a wall, either with your back against it or your side against it, then you can. We're going to be standing on one leg, so you can stand side on if you want to. So we're going to start with your feet separated about hip distance apart. So start to draw the belly in, and we'll stand onto your right leg first. So we're just going to bend into your right knee, and all we're going to do is just hover your left foot a little bit off the ground. So just see how that feels as you start to stand on one leg. So it's just a little tiny hover of the foot off the ground. And then all we're going to do is we're going to move that leg out to the side. So as you inhale, start to move it sideways. And then on the exhale, just bring it back in again. You can always touch the ground if you need to. So we'll do that again. So inhale, start to move out. Exhale, bring it back in. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So inhale and exhale. Now this time coming back in, see if you can lift your knee up. So still in that same leg. So inhale, start to lift the knee. Exhale, lower it back down. Good, and again, maybe just a little hover off the ground as you do that. Okay, very nice. Okay, we'll do that once more. We're going to hold at the top this time. So as you come up, we're going to hold in that knee bend. And if you want a little bit more here, just extend your leg out. Again, just see how it feels. Keep the leg bent if that's better. You can even hold the back of your leg if you wanted to. Good, last few breaths here. Well done. Slowly release the leg. Bring your feet back together, and then we'll just bring the hands together, and maybe just closing your eyes just for a moment. See how that feels. Well done. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So separate your feet again. We'll try that on the other side. So we're going to stand again onto your left leg, bending into your knee. Maybe just start to hover that right foot just a little bit off the ground. So we're not lifting the knee, but just a tiny lift of it so we can see really how your ankle feels as well, because sometimes, you know, if our ankles are a little bit weak, then we'll feel that there more than even in your core. And then when you're ready, start to move out to the side. So on your inhale, a little movement to the side. Exhale, bring it in. You don't have to move it that far. So just enough to challenge your balance. Good, 2 or more. Well done. Come back into the center. Now this time we're lifting the knee up. So when you're ready, on an inhale, lift up. So maybe you lift your knee up level with your hip. Maybe you don't lift as high as that. But inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Okay, do that once more. And then coming up, just holding up there. Maybe you straighten your leg. But just see how it feels. If it doesn't feel right, you want to keep it bent, then keep it bent. And breathe and find your gaze, so find your drishti. Well done. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release the leg. And just bring your hands back in. So maybe closing your eyes just for a moment. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So we are going to try a little half moon now. So again, if you want to, you can use a block, you can use a wall, and you might want to today just to kind of move a little bit down. I'll show you how to do that as well. So if you don't want to come all the way into it, then please don't. But we'll stand just with your feet about hip distance apart again. So we're going to stand like that. I'll go side on just so you can see it. But as you inhale, if you want to, we'll stand on our right leg, just lift the left leg up and maybe just reach down with your right hand and up with your left hand. So you're not actually moving into it that far. That might suit you. So, and again, you could do that close to a wall. So you can kind of splat yourself against the wall. So you have to move into it that deeply if you don't want to. Obviously, if you do want to come in deeper, you could grab a block, have it to the inside of your right foot, but slightly in front of it. Grab one so you can see. And when you're coming into it, you're going to reach down towards the block. So it needs to be slightly in front, not directly in line with your leg. And as you come down, just placing your hand on that block and then reaching up. And a wall is brilliant here. So you can use that to draw the hip back and open up through the top arm and the top shoulder. And again, if you're using your hand, just taking the hand down and reaching there. Just see how it all feels. Try and align the hand, top hand over the bottom hand if you're reaching up. Don't worry if you're not. Good. And come out of it whenever you want to. So to come out of it, you could just bring your feet back together. So just bring that top leg towards the bottom leg, and you could just fold towards your legs for a little moment if you want to. Just bending into your knees and even releasing your chest down towards your thighs.
Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly come back up again. So draw your belly in, roll yourself back up. So try it on the other side. So if you are using your block, just swap your block around. And again, there's no need to come down too far here. So if you want to, you could just stand on your left leg, your right leg lifts a little bit, and you can just reach your hand down. Maybe keeping that other hand on your hip or reaching it up. Just see how it feels. If you want to come down towards the block, then again, make sure it's in front of you quite a bit. So you've got that ability to take your hand down without it being right underneath and then reaching up. Again, just work where you can. Very nice. So it's very similar to triangle. So the triangle posture that we do, it's a very similar posture, just one leg is lifted off the ground. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the leg back down. So again, maybe meet the other foot if you can and fold towards your legs. Okay, when you're ready, slowly roll back up again. So just take your time rolling up towards the top. So we are going to come in and do some standing postures with an option of coming back into half moon. So you don't have to. You can stay in triangle because that's where we're going to move from. But if you do want to, you might want to grab your block and just have it handy. They're just up at the top of your mat somewhere. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll come up towards the top of your mat. We are going to come in through a sun salutation just to keep that prana kind of moving and energetic. But if you want to avoid that, then you could always step back with your left leg into warrior one. So up at the top, we'll feet together or apart, spread your toes and release your shoulders. As you inhale, start to reach with your arms. So maybe taking a little back bend there. On the exhale, folding forward, so bending into your knees. On the inhale here, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, we'll take the hands down and step to plank if you wish. You can always move to down dog straight away here. So lower your knees again if you want to, or bend your elbows halfway to chaturanga. As you inhale, upward facing, or cobra, and exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to step your right foot up. We're coming into warrior one. So right foot steps forward, turn on the heel of your back leg, and just make your own way up into that warrior one position. So as you come in, the shoulders and the hips are facing towards the front. Front leg is bending. And either just reach up with your arms or have them by your chest, or maybe today bring your hands together and a little back bend, but just if that feels right. If it doesn't feel right to you, then don't do it. Just see how it feels in your body. And start to think about the energy moving up through your feet, up through your legs. So all of the muscles are engaging. The shoulders are rotating round a little bit and the belly is pulling in. But then, remember, we want to find softness in it. So maybe you need to release a little bit in your shoulders. Maybe you just relax your jaw a little bit, or your eyes. And use your breath. And they say in yoga that our energy flows where our attention goes. And our attention tends to be where our drishti is. So, you might want to look up, but if you don't, then figure out what feels right. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release that. We're just going to open to warrior two now. So take your time moving round. And the energy lines change a little bit. So they're still drawing up through our feet and our legs, but then they're going out through our fingers. Okay, so draw your shoulders back, reach through your fingertips, look along your front hand, and just see how it feels. So maybe using your ujjayi breath as the posture becomes more challenging. Concentrating your mind. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We're going to keep the legs the same for the next one. We're going to come into side angle. So slowly just releasing that arm down. So the energy changes again. So this time we reach up through that top hand. So the energy now is moving up through the side of your body. So through the outer edge of that left foot, all the way up through the left leg, continuing through the left side of your body and up and out through your fingertips. Okay, so a lot of the time when we're trying to get deeper into this, we kind of fold the body in and then all the energy just dumps down to the ground. So we need to keep that spaciousness, that openness in the body to keep it flowing. Well done. Take one more inhale, come back up again, so draw your belly in. And this time just start to straighten your front leg. So we're coming in for triangle. You might need to hop your back foot in, remember. So sometimes it's too wide and you just need to hop it in a little bit. Push out a little bit through your left hip and just lengthen over that right leg. So maybe just take the hand down and then reaching up. So the energy changes again. So we're reaching down and then all the way up through our fingertips. And the shoulder draws back and we want to get that sense of spaciousness in our bodies. So option-wise, you're going to stay exactly where you are, so in triangle. If you did want to come into that half moon again, then I suggest you bend your front leg a little bit, and then maybe grabbing your block or the floor, and this time we're going to push off the back leg. So again, if it's too far away, you'll find that quite hard to do. I think I'm going to knock my head on this, but I'll try and be careful. And lift up and reach. But just see how it feels. Try and lengthen through that top body. Good, and keep your foot on the ground, so in triangle if you like to. Now this time we're going to step back. So with that left foot, reach back, try and find the ground. Come up to warrior two. Okay, very nice. Just for a breath here. We'll release the hands towards your mat. Turn on the toes of your back leg. And then from there, step back, just to a plank position for a moment. Lower your knees and lower yourself down towards a child's pose. So as you come in, maybe cross your arms over and drop your head or whatever you need to do. So it's important in a prana practice. We generate energy, but then you need to rest. You need to allow the body to absorb the energy that you create. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly come back up. We're just coming to all fours, first of all. As you come into all fours, we're just going to do a little cat-cow here again. So just dropping your belly and pulling your chest forwards and then rounding through your back. Okay, on your next inhale, we'll just move back into a more neutral spine position again. So we're going to move back into our down dog. So we'll tuck the toes, we'll start to lift the hips up, press back, downward dog. Okay, from here, we'll walk the hands back towards your feet again. So just taking your time, moving yourself back, folding towards your legs. As you inhale, lengthen forwards through your spine. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, we'll reach up, so rising all the way up to the top. And on the exhale, we'll just fold all the way back down again. Lengthen forwards on your inhale. And on the exhale, just walk yourself all the way out to plank. So again, you can skip this. You could just move to down dog, or maybe you lower your knees or just bend your elbows halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, make your way back, downward dog. Again, if you feel like it's too much of that prana, then big breath in, and then just sigh it out your mouth. Okay, when you're ready, on your next inhale, we'll just lift the heels, we'll look forward, and this time you can either step or walk towards the top. So just take a slow walk up, take your time, Again, feet together and apart, just fold in. Lengthen forwards on the inhale. Fold in on the exhale. Reaching up, rising up. Hands meet the heart. Well done. Okay, so we're going to do that on the other side. So if you'd like to, you can move your block. So make sure it's handy. If you need to turn around in any way, then do that. I'm going to, but you don't have to. If you need to for your wall, for example, then do that. So we'll come up towards the top again, spreading your toes, lengthening the legs. As you inhale, we'll reach up. And on the exhale, fold forwards. Lengthen your spine on the inhale. Make your way back to plank on the exhale. So again, you can always skip this, just move straight to down dog. Lower your knees or bend your elbows. Inhale up. Exhale back. Okay, so when you get there, your left foot is going to step towards the top of your mat. So again, we're moving to warrior one, so just take your time, positioning your feet, aligning your legs, coming up when you're ready. So spread your toes, make sure the shoulders and hips are forwards. Again, if you want to reach your arms, then reach them up. If you want to clasp them and move back into that back bend, then do that. But make sure it doesn't interrupt the rest of your posture. So we're still concentrating on the feet, the legs, the hips rotating round. And find a little bit of softness, a little bit of somewhere. It's not, even in a prana practice, it's not all about the strength. There has to be some give, some ease within it. And our energy flows where our attention goes. So where is your attention? Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to open up to warrior two. So you can release your hands to start to make your way around into that warrior two position and make any adjustments. So finding that perfect spot. So the position that you can just be in. Reaching through your fingers, so drawing your shoulders back to get that feeling of energy moving through our bodies. Align your breath. When you're ready, we'll move into side angle. So again, start to move your arm down. Start to reach your other arm up. So it's going past the ear in a diagonal line from your body. So we don't want to kind of hooking it over at the top or doing anything bendy with it. Keep the fingertips stretching onwards and upwards. And we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to rise back up again. So back into that warrior two. Remember, we're coming into triangle. So you might need to hop your back foot in, straighten through your front leg, maybe push the right hip away, lengthen over the left leg. And remember, we're trying to create space here. So creating a sense of spaciousness in the side body. Good. Without closing anything up. That top arm, for example, is not good to be up there for your shoulder. Then bring it down and create more space there. We just have to compromise and do what feels right. Now, please feel free, stay here if you'd like, or start to bend into that front leg. Again, maybe reach down with your hand towards a block or just lifting your back foot off the ground a little bit. If you want to take your hand down and lower it to the ground or to your block, maybe reaching up with that top hand. Again, breathing deeply. Try and open up your top hip and your shoulder. So pull your shoulder back a little bit. Good, flexing into your back foot if you can a little. And without forcing it, take it into a position that suits you. Now from here, we're going to step back again this time. So we're going to reach back with that right foot and find warrior two again. Good, very nice. Okay, from there, we'll release both hands down towards your mat. Turn onto the toes of your back leg again. Step to plank. Lower your knees and find your child's pose. Just resting back. Being aware of how your body feels, your mind, your breath. When you're ready, from here, we're going to come flat down now onto your belly. So we're going to make our way all the way down. We are going to come into Sphinx though. So if you could stay up onto your forearms. So as you come into this Sphinx position, we want to try to align your shoulder over your elbow. And then the hands should be in a straight line out from your elbows. So your pubic bone will be down on the ground, but try to think about lifting your belly button up. Draw your shoulders back. Breathe. And try and relax your legs here. We're going to stay in this Sphinx position. We're going to do a little stretch for the front of your thigh. So we're going to turn the left hand in. So the left hand will kind of come into a horizontal plane. So it's kind of pointing towards your right elbow. So just pull that hand in. So it gives you a bit of support. And then bend your right leg. And then if you can, reach back with your right hand for that right foot. And just draw the heel in. Just see how it feels. Okay, slowly release that. We'll change sides, so come back into Sphinx just for a moment, so settle into it, see how it feels there. You can always do this, if it doesn't feel right, you can always do it flat down here, and you could reach for your left foot when you're down flat. If you're okay, turn your right hand in, so it comes into that kind of more horizontal plane, and then bend in through your left leg, and maybe reach back with your left hand. If it doesn't quite reach, then don't bother. Just keep the left leg bent, stay there. If you can reach it, draw the heel in. Breathe into it. So it's quite a strong sensation, so we want to use our breath a little bit more. When you're ready, slowly release. Come back into Sphinx. Again, just for a moment. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly release just all the way down onto your belly. You can bring your arms round, drop your head down. And if you want to bend your knees again and just move your legs just a little bit side to side, just give them a little sway. So we are going to come into bow pose here. So again, you just have to work out with what feels right to you. So if you want to, you could keep your arms exactly where they are and your head down and just bend your legs in. So just bend your knees. If you want to, you could lift your thighs off the ground so you could squeeze and lift up a little bit. If you want a little bit more, you could release your hands, reach them back, and you reach back towards your feet. So you're just lifting your chest as you lift your thighs. And if you can and you want to, grab hold of your feet or your ankles, squeezing in your thighs. And as you inhale, lift your thighs, lift your chest, and breathe. Okay, one more breath if you can. Slowly release all the way down. Again, maybe bring your arms back round, drop your head down. And if you want to, again, bend your knees and move your legs a little bit side to side. Okay, from there, we'll release the legs. We'll bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Start to press yourself up now to that all fours position again. When you get there, walk your knees forwards and your hands back, and then we'll have a little seat towards the front. As you come into a sitting position, we're going to come into Dandasana, or our staff pose. And Dandasana is the pose where we use all of the muscles in our body. So it's a really energetic posture without it looking like very much at all. It just looks like we're sitting, to be honest, but it is a really energizing pose. So we're going to start to sit forward onto your sit bones. You could sit on a block here if you'd like. And then we'll start to engage through the legs. So by flexing your feet, sometimes we get that engagement. So you could try that. If you want to bend your knees, you can bend your knees a little bit. Start to feel that from the back of your ankles running all the way up through the back of your legs and through the front of your legs, every single muscle is kind of tight. And then start to get that same engagement through your upper body. So draw your shoulders back. Maybe you could place your hands on the ground or onto blocks. And then start to lift up through your chest as well and draw your belly in. Start to extend through the back of your neck and maybe lift your chin a little bit. So every single muscle in our body is active and working. The energy is moving through us. And our breath joins it. So it flows as the energy flows. And we're going to keep this sense of Dandasana as we move into our forward fold today. So as you inhale, we'll just start to reach with your arms. And on the exhale, we'll just fold towards your legs. You can use a strap here if you've got one, so you could just grab one. So your hands will lay maybe onto your legs or your ankles. Maybe you can grab your feet, or maybe you've got hold of your strap. So remember, the energy flows where our attention goes. So we're going to keep our attention on our toes today. So if you look at your toes, and then maybe if you want to, on the inhale, just start to lift your chest a little bit more. And on the exhale, maybe you can fold in a little bit further without forcing it. You can try that again. So inhale, just lifting your chest, just a little kind of inch or micro inch, not even that. And exhale, when you fold, it's a tiny little bit as well. But making these tiny little increments is where we gain our mobility, our flexibility, our strength. Then maybe for the last few breaths here, you could just release everything. So if you're really gripping onto a strap, maybe release that. If you're holding onto your toes quite a lot, then maybe release your hands, allow your head to drop, allow your body to relax a little bit. And so often when we relax, is when we get the greatest benefits in our stretches. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly start to come back up. So take your time as you roll yourself back up. And then from here, we're just going to come down onto your mat. So if you do want to, you could just lay down. If you want to continue with our Prana theme, then you could do it in an active way. So you could reach your arms forward and then tuck your tailbone and roll down with control. It's up to you. So as we lay down on our back, we'll come in for a little bridge. So we'll bend your knees, feet flat onto the ground. If you want to do it more restorative, then grab your block, lift your hips, place the block underneath and just rest down. Otherwise, start to press your hips up towards the sky. You move your shoulders under and clasp your hands. Really, it's what feels best. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. So we'll start to move down. So if you've got that block, remove it. If you've got your hands clasped, just release them. And lower your hips all the way to the ground. As you do that, we're going to draw your right knee in towards your chest. And as you do that, extend your left leg away. So we'll use the hands again, but just on that right knee, start to draw the right knee in a little bit more and start to flex your left foot and push it away a little bit more. We're going to come in for a twist here. So using your left hand on your right knee, start to draw your knee over towards the left side. So you might roll all the way out to the outer edge of your left foot. Stretch your right arm away, so you might look along that. And if you want to, you can keep your right leg bent, or you could straighten your right leg away as well. Just don't do it if it doesn't feel that right. When you're ready, we'll come back in. So if you've got your right leg straightened, then bend it, draw it back into the center. We'll just draw both knees in for a moment. So you could take a little movement there. When you're ready, we'll change sides. The left knee in, right leg extends away. So again, we're drawing the left knee in. We're pressing the right foot strongly away. And then from here, we'll come in for that twist. So right hand on the left knee, left arm stretches out. Start to move your left leg over to the right. Again, when you get there, if you want to stretch your left leg away, then do that, or keep it bent, really up to you. Okay, when you're ready, we'll move back into the middle. So drawing your knees in one last time and making any final little movements that you'd like. So we are going to move into Shavasana next. So if you do want to, you can grab some socks, a jumper, whatever you'd like, and then make your way in when you're ready. Okay, so just finding just a comfortable position once more. Start to be aware of your breath and how your body feels. Start to feel your breath as it enters with a cool feeling and then warming as it gently travels down into the lungs. Fill your lungs with a deep inhale, bringing in energy, vitality, and prana, the life force. As you exhale, feel the body releasing toxins, stress, and any negativity that has accumulated. Stay with this breath, focusing on the feeling of deep peace it brings. Feel the energy that is in the body. Become aware of the warmth and tingling of every cell. Feel the energy
that is in the extended environment, in every part of nature and in every living thing. Bring all those energies together and feel them as one. Visualize all of that energy shining brightly as the sun. Bring the shining glow of bright energy over the crown of your head. Feel it starting to travel down into your body from the top of your head, slowly going down into your face and neck, traveling down into the shoulders, all the way down into the arms, down to the fingers. Feel it continue traveling through your hips, all the way down through your legs, to your feet and your toes. Your whole body is now filled with healing light and energy. Allow that healing energy to completely fill any physical area that needs healing energy. Feel it warming, healing, and expanding through the area. Allow the healing light to bring peace and healing to any emotional issues. Bring your awareness to any intentions or desires that you may have. Hold the thoughts of those intentions or desires as you allow the healing energy to bring your deepest desires to life and your intentions into reality. Feel your connection to the energy and light, and know that all is one. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose. And then this time, we'll just sigh it out your mouth. You can do that again if you like. So just deeply inhale. And then just let it go. And then we'll start to move a little bit. So through your fingers, your toes. Maybe stretching your arms over your head. You can stretch all the way down to your feet. Then just when you're ready, you can bring your arms back over. Maybe bending into your knees now as you do that. Maybe draw your knees into your chest or just move them a little bit side to side. If you'd like to, you can also roll over onto your side, but just whatever feels right and suits you. And then just when you're ready, so there's no rush, but we'll start to come up. Take your time. We'll just come up to sitting when you're ready. Sit in any position. We'll bring the palms together, just in front of your heart. So just leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. Hope you enjoyed the prana practice that we did. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'll stop the recording.